Hello, how's it going? Good, grand, great, fantastic. And as you can tell from the title, we are going to be talking about the hashtag #MeToo in this video. And what the hashtag #MeToo is about women coming forward and talking about their ordeals that they've suffered within the movie industry. And in fact, what's actually spurred me to make this video more so is that even up until 5 minutes from reading this video, Michaela Maroney has talked about her ordeal that she suffered whilst training in the gymnastics to become an Olympian. And to say that this whole thing it's shocked to me to my core about what's happened, but I'm not surprised. I mean, we've heard stories of sexual misconduct within the industry or any industry that basically involves people of power, let's be honest. Um, years back, like I think Corey Feldman and the person that accused Bryan Singer were the earliest, which is not that long ago, but it's the earliest kind of thing I can remember of the accusations being there. Of course, people just brush that off. They're like, oh, they're just bitter because they failed and made an industry and all this. And now this whole Harvey Weinstein shitstorm that has come out. It's just taken like a few brave people to just come out and just say it. And with Harvey Weinstein, and this has to be said because there are idiots that are saying that it's a witch hunt against him and it's just by people that failed it in the industry. Well, you just got to look at the people, the very successful people that have made accusations against him, and the fact that there is audio of him doing these things. Okay, when a model had filed a complaint with the police and they put a wire on her and she went back and caught him on audio apologizing about what he did before, but also still insisting on doing, like sitting on the bed with him and things like that. So there's that. There's also his own admission of guilt, and yet there are still people defending him. Like the level of and not just defending him, but blaming the victims in this whole thing. And it's shit like this, in particularly blaming victims, that why it's so hard for people to come forward in the first place. But since the whole Bill Cosby thing and Donald Trump thing and the people before that as well, since it's been like a little snowball slowly gathering pace and building, and now it's a fucking avalanche and it's about fucking time that it's happened. And I feel so like sorry for people that have gone through this shit. And yes, men are also included in this as well. We are talking about sexual assault, predatory behavior, downright fucking pedophilia within an industry that is full of vulnerable young people and young adults doing what they can to just do something that they love, which is acting, or maybe just the need to be famous or recognition or writers or to be producers or directors. And they're at the mercy of these powerful scumbags. It's all I can say is I have nothing but absolute respect and admiration for the people that are coming forward. You can say, well, why don't they come out straight away? Well, you know what? I'm not in that position. I don't know. I can't comment on that. Let's just say, for example, that if they did come out when they were unknown, the likelihood is they would have been blacklisted within the industry and would have just been shunned and not been able to find work. What kind of gets to me is this cult-like attitude in the industry of priests, as we call it. They're all just kind of scratching each other's back. And the fact that the Harvey Weinstein thing was so known about and nobody did anything about it. Like, I'm pretty sure people like Kevin Smith would have known about it. Ben Affleck, I heard murmurs. Obviously, you don't expect them to be in the hotel room and things like that. But I think the one that's really shook me to my core is Michaela Maroney's one, because she was so young. And yes, you've heard stories from Corey Haim and Corey Feldman as well, who were young and who were at the mercy of paedophile producers or people within the industry. But it's also like Michaela Maroney within the athletics industry as well. So it's like, how fucking far does this go? What, like, all this that's coming out now is merely the icing on the cake, and fucking God knows what kind of horror stories and ordeals we're gonna hear. The other one I forgot to mention before was Kesha as well, with her accusations, and everyone was dismissive of her, but it's like, you know what, there is always a fucking merit for these people coming out with these accusations, especially when there's so many of them. It's not like they're all fucking like grouped up together, because you have like a beast like fucking Terry Hughes coming out and saying, yeah, some guy just come up and grabbed my dick, and I could have beat his ass and pummeled him, but I would have been arrested because I was a black guy beating up on a little white guy. And it also probably, I can't remember if he said it, but it would have definitely affected his career had he beat the shit out of this guy, So even it's not just like defenseless women, it's like big motherfuckers like Terry Hughes are also at the mercy of this kind of shit. So before, I don't want to drag on any longer, but what I will say is I cannot state how much I admire and respect people coming out with the hashtag #MeToo and talking about their ordeals. I think it's needed. I think it's time. And people defending the perverts and the accused. Seriously, just basic research, especially with Harvey Weinstein, where all the evidence is stacked there, and for Donald fucking Trump, where all the evidence is stacked there. Stop defending these people. You are just as much as part of the problem as the fucking predators themselves, because your dismissive attitude makes it harder. Instead of forming a kind of a union of protectionism for vulnerable people within these kind of industries, you just fob them off and be like, nah, they're just bitter because they didn't make it. So now, also, again, that came up on my that somebody, a friend of mine on Twitter, retweeted as well, was this guy who put this joke about, he's taking a picture of this woman's ass in leggings, okay, and they're kind of see-through, and he put like, oh yeah, I've been following her around for 3 blocks, I left my kid at Target. And there's people laughing at it, like, oh, it's really funny, yeah, you abandoned your kid at Target and you're following this woman, stalking her with your phone, taking pictures of her ass. It's just, the main thing I can say is, if you want to know what it feels like to be a woman in this society of just basically perverted men and predators and all that, just go to Thailand. As a man, go to Thailand and let's see how well you handle the constant harassment, the grabbing of your private parts, all just the non-stop, every day catcalling and, hey baby, come here. Oh, you look at me, you think, ugh. But even I enjoyed that in Thailand, and I didn't like that. And that was 7 years ago, and that was a huge eye-opener. Not that I have a history of doing any of that kind of stuff, but it's like, it was a good thing for me to experience, because then I can use that as a tool to say to people, you know what, if you're a guy, go to Thailand. Let's see how long you enjoy the constant harassment by women. That is all I have to say about this. Again, lots of love and admiration for the people coming out in this hashtag #MeToo thing that's going around. Keep it going. That is all. I'll see you later.